Open up a LX terminal, what you see is this, or something very similar. I notice that it's very close to the edge, which I prefer not to have this. So wanted to customize this here, and that's called a prompt. And this website is very helpful in helping how to customize this prompt. So let's go over to the website. Here is the input, or how you design and select the sequence of commands and so on. So, and here is actually running a view of what. So it's just easier just to show you. So usually you want to start with the username, but in my case I want to start with a space, because I prefer LX terminal. So I prefer not to have this edge right at the edge. So it's just a minor thing, but it's just my preference. And what you have to do is, rather than go to basic elements, you start with let's look at the other tabs: status elements, and error code, and cheat status. And then time can also be put in the prompt. But I want to go to the extra characters, and we want to start with a space character. So that will give you a space. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then you notice that there is a space. So whatever you decide. So next we want to go back to the root elements and use the username. So username in PuppyLinux is always going to be root, but we'll go ahead and put in a username, and you'll notice the username doesn't start right at this edge, because there is a space. So we also want to modify the username in a sense that we want to give it a color. So right now what you want to do is just go ahead and click on it, and it's black. So or default is white here. So we want to just go ahead and and then give it a little color. So I prefer your user to be yellow, so that's fine. And then after that, host name is fine without a space, but I think that I would prefer an extra character here, and then go to @ symbol is fine, and then go back to the elements and host name. Okay, so you get a host name, and we also want to change the @ color and host name. We'll just go to the @ here, and then change the color again, host name here, and change the color to the same color, which is fine. And then I want to give it a extra character here, and then put in a space. So there's a space, and then we want to go back to the basic elements, and then want a current working directory. So this is pretty important, that I like to see what directory I'm in, rather than typing in pwd to find out what the directory is. So we'll just go ahead and give it a directory here, and then afterwards we also want to put in a space again, and then go back to directory, and then this time we'll give it a different color, for example red. So that's fine. What I prefer to do is go ahead and have a prompt that So LX terminal. I want to have a after the directory here, I want to start actual input on the next line. So what I want to do is go ahead and give it a next line, new line character here, which is going to be right here. And then it's going to go to the new line. And then again, I want to go back to the, so new line, I also want a space to start with. So space, and then give it a symbol, this, and then greater, lesser sign here. Enter custom text and so that's fine. And then you notice that what it looks like. Now I don't want my input to start right at the edge, so I want to give it another space. So we get a space, and then I think that's fine at this point. Okay, so this is the configuration I want. So then what you want to do is you want to copy the configuration result here, and then just copy. And you want to put that in to bashrc. So we want to, well, we'll just go ahead and leave that open and then go back to 1. And then we want to genie, and then root, and then bash rc, and we'll go ahead and open that. And I've cheated, and I've actually put in another example, but we'll just go ahead and delete that. So what you want to do is you want to put it fairly early in the bash rc. So let me just make a line wrapping here. So you default is there's going to be no space, so you just create a little space, and then paste what you just copied from, and it's going to look like this. And then we're going to save it. Now we're going to open up a new terminal, and let's see what that looks like. So now you can see the color of the terminal has changed, and the new line. And then I noticed that this color, this directory shorthand hasn't changed. So these color should have been yellow rather than reddish color. So let me just go back, and then so it should have been yellow rather than so there is a little bit of a problem. So what you want to do then is just go ahead and reset all, start all over, or delete the sequence, or you can move this you can move it within the statement by these little arrows. So you can, for example, go here, and then you can see that this changes host name. So you can see this changes. So I'm giving you a rough idea. Before recording, when I was practicing, it seems to be very good and accurate as far as the color. But let me just go ahead and look at the color again. Username, and then this is definitely yellow color. Let me just, for a practice, let me just make that green. And then so that it is green now, and let me just go ahead and copy this again over, copy, and then we're gonna go back to a genie, and then We're going to overwrite this now and paste, and we're going to go ahead and save, and then we're going to exit out of here and then start a new LX terminal. Now it's changed, so you get the idea.